Now these are the sides. They're sitting on top of each other. I've had to paint the knot holes over just to get them stain blocked and sealed. And that's the base of it, the floor of the trailer. And the other side's been done. And when you do something like this with woodwork, see, I'm trying to keep water from getting underneath 2x4s and rotting out the wood. So I'm going to have a good solid coat on each side of the board of primer. And when you do the edges, you do the edges twice. When you do one side, do the edge, and then when you flip it over and do the other side, do the edge again. So the edge is a weak link and you got 2 coats of paint on it. Same thing when you put your finish coat on it. And this primer stuff dries pretty quickly, 30-40 minutes, and you can recoat. You have to wait a little bit longer than that to put your top coat on. But if you double paint the edges, it's the weakest joint on plywood. And a good coat to seal it, and it helps your finish coat bond to this surface. We're going to put another coat on these sides of this box that goes on the trailer. I've unwrapped my roller from the moistened paper towels, and you have to load your roller when you roll paint, in case you've never done this before. And that's getting it loaded by just touching it and come up here to where you get sort of an even coat. And you've heard people say you need to use a W motion, a Y motion, a V motion. The deal is you've got a lot of paint on this roller. In fact, I'll put a little more than normal on it. And if you would just start rolling like right here, and then right here, you're putting a lot of paint right in one little spot. If you go out like that and back and over here and back and up and back and back and back and back, you've removed a lot of the paint from the roller. And then you can go up here and incorporate the paint that you've left on in that W or Y pattern. And see, once you get to a point, you can see that you're getting good penetration right there, and now it's lighting up, and you need to go over here and get some more paint. Now if you just had one little area and you were pretty much finished, but it was just one little spot like this, what you would do is just roll right here, and that would be enough paint to bring that up. The next thing is, I want to make sure it's on the camera. Is you have to incorporate this part that you painted into this part that you painted. So you load your roller up again. See, that's really a lot of paint. And then you come out here and do a little WV, whatever pattern. And then you start rolling your paint, and you come back into the wet paint that you just left. And by doing that, you don't see any lines where one stopped and one started, and you will get really good coverage. And that's pretty much all it is to do. And to do it, if you're rolling down paint like that and you're getting an edge on it, especially up on a ceiling, you'll be pressing that roller on the ceiling with a pole. And if you're getting paint coming out the edge, there's too much paint on that roller, or you're pressing too hard with the roller. And to do an edge, you just go right down the board, very simple, but you will leave paint. I don't know if you can see it, but see, some paint oozed over the top and bottom. You can run it underneath to get rid of the paint on the bottom, and see, you've incorporated that back into this. And that's all it is, to roll paint. Another really easy thing to use to get this paint back into that paint can and I can hold it right over that spout, and I can take these little cheap squeegees. They give them away at home shows and at the fair and different things. But see, you can just use that. You have to pay attention to what you're doing with that small hole. But you can use a squeegee or spatula, and you can get all this paint out of here so you don't have to wipe out as much. But by doing this, and you can incorporate it and get it all down here, and then you don't have as much to wipe out with a paper towel. Well, when you finish using one of these cans, I try to get all I could out of it, and I got all over the bottom and the sides. You can't get so much out of it. I actually rolled my roller around in the bottom when I was priming the wood, and then I left it out in the sun to dry all day. And when I goes to the landfill, there's no way paint can get out of that can and get into a landfill because it's dry.